So you look at Hollywood movies and you see how great they look on screen. You look at TV and commercial content and you also wonder, how do they make it look so good? YouTube is full of influencers selling LUTs and wanting to give you that cinematic look. And yeah, I don't like the phrase. Well, I was approached by Dehancer to try out their new color grading software, and it's pretty good. Now, when it comes to colour grading, I always want quick solutions, and if we've ever given it a go, it's always a time-consuming business. There's a reason why it's a specialised area. It takes time, skill, and a keen eye to dial in that perfect look. So the majority of us just have to level with ourselves. We're just not going to be colourists. Well, we can't be awesome at everything, let's be totally honest. So when Dehancer reached out and asked me to try out their software, I thought, yeah, okay, let's check it out. Now, I was a bit skeptical at first, mainly because we see this all of the time. Make your own footage look cinematic, the one-stop shop to the film look, and to be honest, does my head in. Everyone seems to have LUTs these days, and it may be controversial, but I'm just not interested. I'm tired of people trying to sell me stuff. So what's the difference here then? Well, if you decide to get this software, it's because you want it, not because I'm on the sell. So I guess perspective is the difference. And also, full disclosure, Dehancer have no say on this video. They've only asked for an honest opinion. But they have given me a free trial to make this video. Anyway, before we decide to buy anything, we have to ask ourselves, what are my use cases? Well, for me, I recently decided to film everything in log, apart from my podcasts. So I'm having to build the colour for my content from the ground up. So that takes time and effort to dial in the look I want for my content, both on this channel and over on my sport YouTube channel, currently called Pabs Media. This year, I did start to create my own colour profiles, and I'm that type of person who changes my mind on the look every 5 minutes, and many rebuilds later, half a day of production is gone. I am a nightmare. So anyway, let's get into the program itself. So we've got this image of Bianca Cook here, double Olympic medalist, and it's effectively a shot which is going to move all the way into her from wide to close up. And what we want to do is grade that so that we can give it a bit more of a moody style. At the moment it's in S-Log, so we need to change it from S-Log into Rec 709, add a film look to it, dial that film look in, and any accessories that we want. So this is the clip we're actually going to start grading. So if we look at this now, we'll go into the effects panel and add Dehancer Pro. We'll stick it in an adjustment layer, mainly because I like to work with adjustment layers. It just makes it easy to drag that look over to other clips as well. It's blue at the moment because by default, Dehancer adds a film look to it. So we'll go in there and we'll change that in a second. There's also film grain on there as well that we need to take out. If you just look at this long list here, there's 19 things to select from: film developer, film input, halation, bloom, film damage, all sorts of different things there. We'll go through a few of those now. But one of the things we want to do is we want to take the film grain off, because we can dial that in a little bit later, and we'll take the film off as well, because I'll show you why. We'll take that film, that's the Kodak film look, we'll take that off, and we'll go into the input settings, and we need to, it's on 709 at the moment, but because it's log, we need to select the camera that it's on, and it will turn it into Rec 709, so we can then start editing it. So we'll go down to the list here. We need the A7S3, S-Log3, and there it is. And that gives us our Rec 709 look that we can start to have a play about with. So one of the first things that we'll have to do in a second is we'll have to choose a film look. So once we've got that film look in, we can start dialing that in. So this is our clip at the moment, as you can see, from wide all the way to close up. So we don't need to make any adjustments to that at this moment, but what we want to do is we want to apply a film look to it. That's the Kodak Vision 3 250D. And at the moment we want to look for one which will probably be more applicable to what our footage is like. So we'll just have a look through these at the moment. I've got one in mind, not quite that one. Is it this one? No, not that one. It's maybe here in a second. I think it's, no, not that one, I think it's the next one. There we go. I think it's that one I'm looking for at the moment. And what I'll do is I'll try and dial that one in, and we'll speed this up a little bit. We'll go through the film developer. We'll go into the film compression, which limits some of the highlights, and we can go through there, the white points, and then we'll go to expand, and we'll just play about with our image there and just bring out the tones that we're looking for. Then the film print, we'll just play about with that and just kind of this program is just about dialing in all of those colors and bright lights and the shadows, and just about playing around with it. And then with this particular part, with the color head, I'm looking to try and add a little bit of blues to the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights, just add a little bit of warmth to them. And then we go into the film grain. I'll tweak about with this in a second, but the 65mm one will kind of pull down and limit the amount of grain that's in there. I'll dial it in just a second. But the halation, I want to have a little bit of a halation in the lights above, so we'll just add a little bit of halation to the lights just to make the lights ping a little bit. And as you can see there, I'll just zoom in, you can see in, out, we're going to add a little bit of glow to those lights. Dial that film grain back in just to make sure it isn't as heavy, and we can also add a little bit of bloom to those highlights as well. You see there, add a little bit of bloom to them, and it really gives it that film quality look. And we can add film damage if you wish. I'm not a big fan of that, unless it's the look you're looking for. You don't really need scratches all over the film and stuff for this particular clip, but if it's what you're into, you can certainly do that. And this one's quite an interesting one, is the film breath. Now, with the film breath, you can actually add it to the film, and you can see there's differences in colors. It adds blues and greens to the film, and when you go to 8mm, it's worse than probably 65mm because of the types of film that are on offer. It's very light there on the 65mm. Not the look we're looking for this particular clip, but you can do lots of different things with this particular program. That isn't necessarily what we're looking for. Gate weave, that makes it a bit more juddery. As you can see there, the film will judder, and if that's the look you're looking for, you can do it with Dehancer. So it isn't just about color grading, you can add all sorts of artifacts to it as well. We're not looking for gate weave, but we're not really looking for overscan either, which gives it film kind of looks, as you can see there with the Panavision. You can play around with it and, you know, really do lots of different things with it. I quite like that look, but that isn't the look we're looking for this one, the Panavision look. But what we'll do is we'll add a bit of vignette to it as well and dial the vignette in. I mean, a lot of us know how to use vignette anyway because all of our editing programs use it. With this one, you can change the X and Y axis. And these are the monitor areas as well, the false color, the clipping indicators as well there. You can see where it's clipping in the highlights and in the shadows. So you can do lots of different things. With this, I just want to pull it down a little bit, take the saturation down a little, just so that Bianca's skin tones aren't as red. As you can see, we'll dial it into about there. 82 is about fine. And then if you wanted to save that, you can actually do that. You can go into the export LUT function and you can save that for future reference. So not only is it a tool that you can use on the fly, but you can create your own. And there's the computer I'm editing on, the M1 Max. Let's render that out and let's have a look at it. As you can see, it does the job for me. I'm quite happy with that, I'll be honest with you. And it didn't take that long to actually do. Okay, I've been using this software now for about a month or so, but it doesn't take that long to actually get to grips with what you can do. I like the soft skin tones. I like the slightly desaturated. I like the way the halation pops. And as you can see here, the before and after, the S-Log, and then Dehancer. There we go. I just like the way that looks, to be honest with you. And it was very easy to edit. We'll also look at this clip as well of Neal Skupski, the triple Wimbledon doubles champion. He was training in Liverpool, so I managed to get a few shots with him. And this was all shot in S-Cinetone, so if you're not going to be shooting with a particular camera in a particular log mode, you can use the Rec 709 S-Cinetone, and you can actually use that for this as well. So let's have a look at Neal's clip. What we'll do is we'll try and dial that in if we can. Again, effects, Dehancer, drag that in, and to be honest with you, that looks quite nice already, simply because we've got Rec 709 selected, because that's what we're in S-Cinetone. So what we'll try to do now is we'll choose the film that we're actually looking for. We chose a Kodak one earlier on, but I'll probably choose an Agfa this time. I've got one in mind. So there's that one there, which is the 160. So we'll select that one. I like that, and I think I'll be able to play about with it a little bit as well. So we will start to play about with that. And just dial it in, get the film compression right. You can see with some of those highlights in and around the lights, we use the film compressor just to take some of those highlights down. We'll expand it slightly, change some of the tones. As you can see there, you just kind of dial in the image in as time goes on. We want to add a little bit of warmth to the midtones and highlights, and a little bit of blue to the shadows. Get the film grain right, dial that in, 65mm 50 ISO. And you can see there, halation doesn't quite look quite right as it stands at the moment, but dial it in. Yeah, it just doesn't look, the halation just doesn't look right on that particular image, because the reds just seem to bring his skin tone out. So what I'll do, you just look there, before and after, when you take the halation out, it just looks a cleaner image. So we'll probably take the halation out, let's render that through, and then let's see what that looks like. That looks really, really good. And that one took less time than the last one. And as you can see, if you want a film look, that's exactly what you're getting with this particular program. Absolutely love that shot. It's really, really good. Very, very pleased.
So to conclude, I'll be honest, I was rather skeptical when Dehancer approached me to look at this plugin. I thought it was just another company looking to make money and offering gimmicks. Now that may be your opinion too, and you're entitled to it, but I just thought I'd give it a go. But I said to myself I would only make a video if I thought it was worth it, and I would continue to use it after the initial test period. So I guess here we are. I was in the process of developing my own workflow, but I think these results are a lot better. Also, Dehancer offers more options. It offers camera profiles, including the DJI Pocket 3, the Sony ZV-1, all the way up to the Sony FX6 and Canon R5. It's really handy for whatever camera you have. As I said earlier, I'm no colorist and I never will be, but this definitely bridges the gap enough for me to be happy with the results. And it can be fairly quick as well, which is important to me. I plan to use this over the next 12 months to get a great view of what it can offer. It took me a little bit of time to get to grips with it, but I feel at a point I can be a bit more creative with it. I have projects on the horizon which I will shoot and log, and I will use this to grade it. And when that happens, I'll do a follow-up video to show you the results. But I guess the real question is, will you use it? I would argue if you're just making home videos of family holidays, this isn't for you. If you're making YouTube content, for example, and you want it to look good, you should consider this if you want a quick color grading workflow. But if you're looking to make a business out of creating videos, weddings, commercial content, for example, then you will make your money back really quickly. Now for the business end of the video, the money. This software is priced at $449 for a lifetime subscription, or there are other tiers that might suit your needs, but the best value is in the long-term option. So it does come with a hefty price tag, and you'll have to see whether it fits in your budget and workflow. But if you do choose to purchase, use the code PaulGarrity and you'll get 10% off your order. I guess every little helps. One of the things I like to see when I'm considering buying something is evidence of the product in action. I like to see whether it will work practically in my productions. So I'll get back to you in the future to show you what can be created with Dehancer and look further into what makes it great or not.